What are the elements of a persuasive essay? In this lesson, you will learn how to identify the different parts of an essay by labeling the thesis, topic sentence, supporting details, and elaboration. Let's review a moment. Persuasive writing is a type of writing where the author states his or her opinion about a subject, and then proves that opinion true using evidence. The ultimate goal of persuasive writing is to get the reader to agree with whatever it is the author is arguing. So for instance, if the author is arguing that travel is an important way to learn about different cultures, then by the time the reader has finished reading that essay, he should also think that travel is an important way to learn about different cultures. What you see here is an example of a persuasive essay. In a moment, you're going to press pause on this recording so that you can take a chance to read over this persuasive essay and get an idea of what it looks like as a whole, so that when we break it down into smaller parts, you understand what those smaller parts do in the essay. So please press pause now, and when you're done, press play again. Now that you've had a chance to read over this essay, let's just take a moment to look at a couple of key parts of the essay. The first part is this first sentence, or these first couple of sentences, known as the thesis statement. This is perhaps the most crucial part of your essay because this is where you lay out your argument in the first place. Without a thesis statement, you will not have a persuasive essay. Then the bulk of the essay is made up by these three paragraphs known as body paragraphs. This is where you take time to really prove that thesis statement true. So when you have an essay, these two parts are the most important thing to make sure you're doing well. So in order to analyze this essay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place a TH next to the thesis statement. Then we are going to place a TS next to the topic sentences. Then we're going to place an SD next to the supporting details. And finally, we're going to place an E next to the elaboration. And again, it's important that we understand what all of these parts are in an essay so that as we start breaking them down in this lesson and future lessons, we understand what it is we're talking about and how it works as part of the whole essay. So what you see here is the thesis statement. Getting enough sleep is important because if you don't, you'll face serious consequences. In fact, failing to get enough sleep can cause a drop in grades, can lead to health problems, and can harm relationships. The reason that I know this is the thesis statement is because here it states the author's opinion. That's one reason I know it's a thesis. The other reason is that here it's providing the evidence or the subpoints that I'm going to be discussing in the rest of the essay, so I label it TH. Then I take a look at the body paragraph. The first thing that I need to label is the topic sentence, and at this level of writing it's fairly easy to find because it's generally the first or maybe second sentence in a paragraph. So when we look at this paragraph right here, we see one effect of not getting enough sleep is falling grades. This is the topic sentence not only because it's the first sentence, but also because it's repeating the subpoint from the thesis statement. So now I need to find the supporting detail. I ask myself of the topic sentence, why is this true? Why is falling grades a result of not getting enough sleep? And whatever the answer to that question is my supporting detail. So when you're tired, it's harder to learn. So I'm going to put an SD there. And then I look at that supporting detail and I ask myself, well, what do you mean it's harder to learn? The rest of this paragraph that you see here is elaboration because it's answering that question, what do you mean? It's explaining why, how when you're tired, it's harder to learn. So I'm going to put an E there. So when you're trying to analyze an essay for the first time, you should first place a TH next to the thesis statement. Then you should place a TS next to the topic sentence. Then you should place an SD next to the supporting details. And finally, you should place an E next to the elaboration. And when you do this, it helps you have a better understanding of what the essay looks like as a whole. So in this lesson, you have learned how to identify the different parts of an essay by labeling the thesis, topic sentence, supporting details, and elaboration.